those green eyes, those green eyes of truth, spirit of truth, emerald eyes, God of the wise, love in the sky, Gabriel, Gabriel, uh-huh.
They are here. So, Michael, would you please give us the date and the time for today?
Sure. The date is July 20th, 2019, and the time is 12:05 p.m. Pacific time. We're up here in our upstairs great room, in our beautiful home, Gabriel's home.
And Maitreya's. And Immanuel's.
And Gabriel's.
And Gabriel and Persephone and Venus.
Mm-hmm. In beautiful Mission Viejo, California, USA. Just to kind of recap about what we have just been talking about as far as Gabriel's house and the other celestials who've moved in. Gabriel and Venus moved in on June 1st, 2019. Lord Maitreya and his group of celestials moved in on June 25th, 2019. Immanuel, also known as Poseidon in the Greek, moved in on July 4th, 2019, amid the interesting California earthquakes that were going on.
Solar eclipse and everything else.
And Gabriel and Melody moved in on July 7th, 2019, around 7 o'clock p.m. Gabriel is Dionysus in the Greek, and Melody is
Persephone.
Persephone
Or
in the
Proserpina.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabriel is also Gautama Buddha for the Orient.
Mm-hmm. So they are here. This is their home.
This is their home. We're so happy to have you all.
They say for decades.
For decades, yes, they will. For decades.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Mi casa es su
su
casa. Today we are here for our third Truth Talk with Gabriel. Gabriel is also known as Hephaestus in the Greek. He is known in the Urantia book as the bright and morning star. And Mother Venus is his divine consort, his divine wife, divine mate. She is also known as Aphrodite, Astarte, and other names more ancient than those.
They liked Mother Venus in Rome, but she just likes Venus right now with us.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Okay, so we are here for a meeting, a truth talk with Gabriel. And there's our ice cream truck that comes by for the kiddies. You can probably hear it. There it is.
I remember those trucks coming since I was very, very tiny.
Me too. To our left, we welcome Immanuel, Poseidon. He has been giving us some really amazing information lately about the earth, about the structure of the earth and what goes on the earth. And to his left, right in front of me, is Gabriel in the King Tut throne chair. Gabriel's with us. Welcome, Gabriel. Welcome, Immanuel. To Gabriel's left, there is a chair. I'm calling it the picture chair because it has a picture of Gabriel, the most recent drawing or picture of Gabriel that Diane has drawn. And you'll see it. He has a gold disc around his head. He's got a gold tunic, a square neck with a square neckline with a V-neck, and he's got golden hair. Yes.
Just like his father and mother.
And his father and mother are?
Oh, the local universe father and the local universe mother spirit.
Yes, Zeus and Hera.
Zeus and Hera in the Greek.
Yahweh and Asherah in more ancient
yes,
times.
in ancient times.
And below the picture of Gabriel, we have the newest, most recent picture of Lord Maitreya
Yes.
in his personal body.
Personal body.
Yes.
That's right.
I've begun using that one in some of our YouTube videos.
Thank you.
Our YouTube channel is Michael and Diane Duncan, 2 N's with Diane and D-U-N-K-I-N with Duncan. And to the left of the picture chair, in the black leather desk chair, is the gentleman I've just been talking about, Lord Maitreya.
Welcome, Lord Maitreya. Thank you.
Welcome. Lord Maitreya, welcome Gabriel, welcome Immanuel.
Yes.
And Diane, as always, it's a pleasure to be with you.
Oh, always a pleasure to be with you, dear.
Love
We
you,
just
darling.
celebrated a 24th anniversary, so guess it's been 24 years married.
Yeah.
And
And-
4 years that we worked together very hard
That's
when we
true.
were meeting, first met.
That's true, and all of our work and all of our love and devotion have come to this point where
Yes.
we have our celestial guests that live with us
Yes.
and
we're
are
so
helping
happy
us
have
to, we've been developing in the last 5-6 years or so the 10-year plan with the Father and Mother, the magisterial mission with Lord Maitreya, and now we are really preparing for the new worldwide religion of love. And Gabriel and Venus are sponsoring that.
Yes.
Maitreya is doing his work on the earth, with people, as is Immanuel, Gabriel, and Melody.
Yes, of course. I want to mention before we go on that Immanuel, who is Poseidon in the Greek culture, is also the elder brother of Zeus in the Greek as Poseidon. And in the Urantia book, Poseidon is Immanuel, the elder brother of the local universe father. And then, of course, Gabriel is Hephaestus in the Greek, and he is the son, the firstborn of the local universe mother and father, or as in the Greek, the first son of Zeus and Hera. So that's very exciting to have him here. And Venus is not here today, but she is close by. Gabriel and Persephone are not close by, but they will be. They'll be soon. Well, now, Gabriel, you say that this now is a transition period. I know when we had a meeting with Thea, and she told us that things were now changing, that this is the changeover to the worldwide religion of love phase in the planning of Maitreya and the world and the changes that are going to be occurring. So from now, July, until March is the transition period. And he was telling us some interesting things that he wants Michael and I in March to start going to different churches in our own area or in close by, Now I was born in Long Beach, and we used to attend First Christian Church of First Christian Church of Long Beach. My son has had the First Christian Church of Orange as organist and choir director for decades, but this was the First Christian Church of Long Beach. And my mother sang in the choir, and my father, and it was all a very beautiful experience. But I haven't seen that church or even know if it's still there. So we are to venture out, the two of us, and we will bring Alexander, of course, and see what is really going on in the churches right now, here at this time in the world and this time in our lives. So that's going to be a very exciting thing to do. I don't know how far out we'll be able to reach, but we'll start attending on Sundays, probably mostly, because on Saturdays we'll be at our own church, but on Sundays we will be venturing out to visit all these other churches. Now, Gabriel, are you and Venus going to go with us? Gabriel saying he will. He's going to travel with us. He and Venus will travel with us incognito. But they will be with us. How exciting. That's wonderful to give us support. I mean, we're not going to do anything, but we will be observing. And so that's wonderful. I am so pleased because that will make it all the more special. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you so very much. He wants us to introduce ourselves at each church as Reverend Michael and Diane Duncan, and he wants us to prepare to have a little CD of our songs to give the minister as a parting gift. I don't know if we will return, but as a gift. So we will do that, of course. We can make up some CDs of our latest album, the Songs of Love and Peace, which we've been recently giving out more of.
That's the second album.
Oh, it's the second one.
Yeah, not the most recent, but the second one that we did.
Yes. So we'll be doing that one, and that we will give out to the ministers as we go along. So we'll observe these different churches for 2 years, and in 2022, Venus will be giving us the worldwide religion of love, with Gabriel's part in giving us the truth message to formulate the religion. So hopefully that in 2022 and after we'll be able to hopefully put out a book and maybe also some new literature and new songs for the worldwide religion of love. We thank you, Gabriel, so much for that. Yes. He's also saying he wants us to do new YouTubes, meetings, the new meetings, the truth talks with Gabriel, of course,
okay.
and be putting out those.
Truth talk videos.
Yes.
And writing a book.
And writing a book to go along with it.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
To explain, he says, what he and Venus want to put out.
Wow.
I know we just had a wonderful email from a Urantia reader.
Oh, yes.
A dear friend who was always so sweet when we were doing a workshop and Michael was directing the Urantia choir at IC14. We met this gentleman and he was so kind and came to our workshop and saw our paintings and I heard our songs. And he sent us a delightful message about some ideas that he would like to contribute for the new worldwide religion of love.
Yes.
Very, very kind.
Yes.
Maybe you could, I wonder what he made one suggestion I particularly liked.
Oh, yes.
He wrote a book, a wonderful book.
Here.
And,
okay. He says, let's see here. Okay. In your letter, you had kindly asked me whether I had any counsel to offer, and this is it. He says, add scientific living.
Oh, scientific living. Wow.
More robustly to your spiritual living.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because in his book, he talks about the scientific living. So he says, it seems to me like he's saying a blend of the two would really appeal to people. You know?
Well, we will certainly will do that.
Spiritual living along with scientific living.
I think so. I think so.
One of the one of the things that I really have studied, especially in the last couple of years, is vegetarianism.
Oh, well, of course.
And how vegetarianism how vegetarianism can improve our health and improve the health of the planet also. And they have scientific proof, that they have scientific proof that vegetarianism can really benefit us and the world. One of them is very, very basic. I mean, if you use the grain or the food that you're giving to the animals to fatten them up, to kill them for food, if you use that grain and distribute it around the world, I mean, people are going to have more food in the world.
Well, of course, this
depending
is...
upon distribution,
of course. This is what Maitreya is going to be doing with Ceres. Ceres is also Demeter, and they are going to be distributing the food and trying to produce better food that is even more nutritious for us.
Yeah, and other studies have been done that say that meat can go undigested in the colon.
Oh, of course.
So that can result in cancer and things like that. So scientific living, something we'll be thinking about.
Well, John Harvey Kellogg and Ellen White wrote some wonderful books on new health.
Exactly.
And they go back, to the 1800s,
The Living Temple.
The Living
John
Temple
Harvey's
by John
book.
Harvey Kellogg. And he, of course, was the one who mentored his nieces and nephews from the papers for the Urantia book. And he also mentored all of the Seventh-day Adventist ministers on his new ways of living. And so, my goodness, that sounds like a wonderful, wonderful way to go.
Yeah, John Harvey was the one that really helped Ellen White to develop the health program for the Seventh-day Adventists in the beginning.
John did.
And distribute it and develop it, But he was the mentor to William Sadler Sr., the nieces and nephews,
Lena and Anna,
who were the ones that eventually published the Urantia papers into the Urantia book.
Of course.
And he was, he had a lot of scientific research on health, even at that time.
Yes, he taught his Seventh-day Adventist ministers from about 1868, 78 to about 88, to about 1888. And because he was very young, but from the age of 12, he worked with Ellen, helping her put out the Herald and Review, and he quickly became very, very influential in the Seventh-day Adventist movement that Ellen and others created.
Yeah.
So.
And this person that wrote to us really inspired us, really.
Oh, this morning we were so excited to receive this lovely email.
He says, anyway, I renew my prayers for divine wisdom for you and for your continuing spiritual success.
Oh, how lovely. Well, we wish the same for him with his books. Yes, of course. Well, thank you. Yes, Gabriel. We will be traveling to the churches, visiting, because I haven't done that. We've just stayed pretty much in one church for the last 20 years. Oh my goodness.
Last couple of years at the second church.
Yes, of course. But
yeah, we've been pretty. We've stayed pretty isolated.
Yes,
really.
I'm sorry.
But in the beginning, we were talking about.
But yes, the 4 years before we married.
But in the beginning, when we first met each other and got together, we were studying a variety of spiritual traditions and concepts from different religions, different spiritual traditions. So we had a lot of that. But but recently, we've had the celestial team meetings, and we've been really focused on that. And now, all those things will coalesce. All the times we've had and all the things we've learned, and our new guests, all of that will coalesce into the new worldwide religion of love, a new presentation.
Yes, of course. Now, Gabriel, you have just moved in as of June 1st, 2019. We were at the library when all of a sudden you told me, and it was July the 2nd. And I said, oh, Michael. And Michael was putting out a team meeting on YouTube. And I said, Michael, Gabriel is telling us that he has just moved in as of last evening with Venus. Now, you are here, you say, for decades. This is a new phase, you are saying, that you are trying to take the people into the next phase, which is the religion for the whole world. Tell me this. What is the local universe father doing now? Because he began with the 10-year plan and praying to the Father for world peace and so forth. Gabriel is saying that Maitreya is now in charge of praying to the Universal Father for world peace. Okay? And what is the Universe Father? Is he still as much involved? No, not as much. We're into a new phase where we're going to be going with the worldwide religion of love, and he's not quite as involved. The Universal Mother is as involved. She is.
The Universal Mother.
Yes. The
local
Supreme.
The Universal Mother.
Yes.
Not the local Universal Mother, but the Universal Mother.
Yes. The Universal Mother is as involved in this project with Venus, and she is also, what is she doing, Gabriel? What is the Universal Mother doing as far as concerns our situation here on the earth? The Universal Mother, along with the Holy Mother, whom we call Karina, her personal name, but her name she was called in the Greek is Rhea, R-H-E-A, Rhea. She is told us she wishes to be called Holy Mother. The Universal Mother and the Holy Mother are working specifically on trying to develop some new philosophies for the young women, the old women, and the female child. The Universal Mother, he says, is working with Rhea, the Holy Mother. Now, the Holy Mother in the Urantia book is, of course, Eternal Mother. She is
Eternal Mother's Son.
the Eternal Mother's Son. That's right.
She's the one who has
Yes.
influenced the character, I guess, of the local Universe Father.
Her son.
Our local Universe Father.
Yes, her son. And in the Greek, she is, of course, the mother of Zeus. And that's Tethys. No, not Tethys. Tethys is the aunt. Rhea.
Rhea.
Rhea. Tethys raised the local universe mother.
And tell them who Tethys is.
And Tethys is the infinite
Mother
spirit. And Tethys raised the local universe mother along with Venus and some of the other female spirits that we have in the Urantia book, and also in the Greek, and also in the Egyptian. Going back. So the Holy Mother, and the Universal Mother are working together to try and influence the feminine part of our earth, the females, young, middle-aged, and the older females.
Young?
Middle-aged and the older. And they are specifically giving messages of love through everyone's heart about the new ways and the new social conditions that they would like to influence in a more positive way. I know the Holy Mother, we had a meeting with her not terribly long ago, and she was vitally concerned, mostly concerned with the suffering of the unborn child.
Yes.
And Venus also, when we had a meeting in August the 20, I think it was the 27th of August, I think, and Venus was telling us all about how she was very interested in trying to develop in the very young female child a love that would carry her through to her adulthood when she would become a mother, and increase the love that she might have for her unborn child as she matures and produces children of her own, women on this earth.
Yeah, that would have been August of last year.
Yes, 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had some guests at that meeting.
Yes.
Yes, that was lovely. That was a lovely meeting.
So, the Universal Mother
Is just as active. In fact, she's going to be more active, he
The
says.
Universal Mother is working with the Eternal Mother Sun
Yes, Rhea.
to help develop new philosophies that influence the females,
Yes, the females of our
planet.
planet.
young, middle-aged, and,
And the
older
older.
females,
Yes,
to influence their hearts,
Yes, to make them love
to have more love,
their unborn children
love for the children,
and their families as they
Families.
come in a more positive way, to give more love so that they will protect them more. They need to protect the unborn child that dwells within the mother of this earth, the young mothers. And that's what they're working on. That would be the Universal Mother, the Holy Mother, and then working, of course, with Venus.
Okay, so they're working with Venus.
Yes.
Is this, Gabriel, is this a part of the new worldwide religion of love?
It absolutely
action?
is. Oh, absolutely. Yes, yes. And there will be more to that because they want to instill this love in the hearts of the females, to love their unborn child, to want to protect it, so that they will let no one ever tear it away from them. They will protect their children because they will have an innate inner love for that child. Yes. Such a strong love. Have we ever had that on our planet before? Not as much, not as much. They're going to try and give us some additional help in that area.
I don't know, it seems to me like the impression I'm getting is that this is innate in all women.
And in animals to protect their young.
But because of cultural influences, because of cultural influences in the last, say, maybe 50, 60 years,
Yes.
with court decisions and the way that, you know, people have been indoctrinated into a culture of death, that,
Yes.
you know, that maybe they've gotten away from that innate protection, that innate love of the unborn, and
Protective influence that they...
protecting, but also the breakdown of the family, you know,
Yes.
trying to keep the family together, that there have been a lot of influences to tear those things apart, those basic social fabrics that help to, you know, elevate our civilization. Because in the Urantia book it says the family unit is the basis for a healthy civilization, a healthy family unit.
Of course. Gabriel is saying that he is working with Maitreya and being, of course, assisted by Immanuel and many others to try and help the male of our planet, whether they are the very young or the middle-aged or the old, and that is part of his voice in the worldwide religion of love. So Gabriel, you and Maitreya and Immanuel are going to be helping the male to influence them to have a more protective love of their wife, their consort, and their children, so that they will be more protective of their welfare and their life even after they're grown. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Well, you know, there is a large divorce rate now at this time.
Yeah, last time I checked was years ago, and it was 51%.
Oh, I hope it's not that much now, is it really? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So you and Maitreya, now I know, of course, Maitreya is also working with series with the food and distribution and more prosperity. But you and Venus, it sounds like, are going really deep with the love aspect, the worldwide religion of love, to appeal to the male in a certain way and the female in a certain way. So is it different for the males and females? He's saying yes, it is. He says they are different, and the messages that we give will be a little bit different. They will be the same for all races, cultures, and locations of people, but they will be different and divided with male and female.
Appealing to the general makeup.
I guess so. The
tendencies.
biological, probably more development of the female produces the children, and emotional
Yeah.
development of both of them.
Interesting. But
Okay.
mostly centered around love.
Oh, love is the whole thing. Through love, they are going to be giving them these suggestions, these messages. With love,
Is it mainly,
bringing love.
Gabriel, is it mainly for the protection and development of the children and the family, or does this love extend further?
Well, he's saying as the future goes on, it's going to be more important for the father and mother to stay as a family unit and to be closer to the children, even as they're adults and have their children. And the reason for that is because he and the worldwide religion of love are going to be beginning to bring the importance of the afterlife to the family.
Oh.
And the future lives that they will be leading. And that this close-knitness is important to be able to pass these messages down to the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren and so forth, for them to really be able to bring a world of light and life and prosperity and joy for everyone in the world. These messages have to be passed down. Therefore, there has to be a close family unit, a father, a mother, to pass it down to their children, to the grandchildren, and so forth. But there is more to it than that. They are going to be giving more spiritual messages to the people. And these are higher learning messages that they want remained intact, so that the people can start developing a more higher way of living that can take them to a higher place after they pass on
I
from
see.
here.
Well, they always say, because I'm a teacher, they always say in our teacher education classes that, the parents are the first teachers.
Right, of course.
They're the ones that can really,
Influence the children.
really influence the children with this new religion. The ideas can develop as they live with this new religion, and then inculcate their children with these higher concepts and things that will be passed on. But a strong family unit,
Yes.
with the father and the mother together, with the biological father, biological mother together, the strong family unit can help to really make a difference. Because the family's weak. If the father and mother are split, the family's weak.
Yes, they're stronger together.
And the father is an example. Is an example
Of the male principle,
the
in a
male
way.
principle on earth and God.
And God, and the female.
The female is the female principle on the earth and God.
I know when I was a little girl, I just thought of my parents as almost like the gods, I mean, that's what you do when you're little tiny, and they're so big and they have all the power and, authority, and then of course you grow up and
So it's necessary for the father and mother to stay together.
It is, and they are going to try Gabriel with Venus, and of course the higher celestials, and all of their helpers are going to try and bring the family unit together and to present the family as the most important element in the worldwide religion of love. Not different races, not different locations, but the family unit wherever they are and whoever they are.
And it starts with having the baby in the first place.
Of course, that makes
Right?
a family.
That's what we're talking about with the universal mother, with the eternal
Rhea.
mother, son, along
Yes.
with Venus, making sure those babies are born.
Yes, that they're born so that you have someone to carry on these wonderful influences so that we can have a world of light and life and prosperity and happiness for the future children, the future grandchildren, the future great-grandchildren.
And that the babies are born into a strong family.
Yes, a family unit, that they have the strength to be able to carry out these new principles, because the worldwide religion of love is going to have some tough love in it. It's going to have some tough love in it, he says. Tough love.
There need to be a lot of changes before.
A lot of changes going to
things can
happen. Absolutely. And these children have got to be disciplined and know that they have disciplined parents to help them carry out some of these new precepts that we are going to be presenting.
Yeah, and the parents are the examples.
And the parents are the ones who will give this new. It is a religion, but it isn't a religion, because it also encompasses all religion, because we are encompassing all the world, he says.
Yeah.
He says no religion is left out. Or if you don't have a religion, then you still are in our world.
Yes. Because those are universal structures.
Yes, it will be universal structures.
The father lends his male principle, and the mother
role.
lends her female principle. They make the babies.
Yes.
They come together to raise the babies. That's a universal principle.
Of course. But he says also we must remember that there will be new ideas that will be shared. And one of the ideas he's going to share right now is that a lot of the celestials that we would call celestials will be incarnating into these young children.
Interesting.
Children from Venus. Children from Venus will be coming forth to be new leaders. But these children will need strong families to protect them, so they can develop and be the ones to be the leaders, the new leaders.
Wow. That's amazing.
There will be an influx of children that will be born that will absolutely amaze us, that we will not even be able to imagine the kind of children that will be produced in the future. He says we are amazed at television. We are amazed at our CD way to produce our YouTubes and our DVDs, our apps, all these new technologies that are just flooding and coming through. We are amazed at all of that. My grandmother would not have believed the jets that go overhead, that she would not would have when she was a child. We will not believe the people that will be produced.
Can you give us a time frame, Gabriel, of when these children might start being born on this world?
We are going to start placing these children as early as 2024, right after the worldwide religion of love is begun. 2024. These will be people that will grow up that will absolutely amaze us.
And they will bring forth the new ideas.
Yes, they will be the strength of the world to be able to lead everyone so that they can continue with our teaching. We need the placement of these individuals to help everyone stay on the path.
I assume that these children will eventually hold places of power and influence in our societal structures.
Not necessarily all of them, no. But through their prayers, through their work with us, they will influence more than you can possibly imagine. A lot of the work will be done internally with these children.
Mm.
They will not necessarily be noticed by everyone. They will be amazed by their abilities, but not necessarily will they be the richest, the most widely known billionaire in the world.
So they'll be working behind the scenes, or
No.
a combination?
No, some of them will take leadership roles.
Some of them will be known?
In the world.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them, he's saying actually the majority, will be working behind the scenes, but they will do as much or more. And they will have abilities that people will notice. They will. And they will be amazed.
Let's say, Gabriel, if I may ask this question, how many of them do you think will incarnate among us, say, in a 10-year period, like from 2024 to 2034? Could you give us a number?
Within a 10-year period, Gabriel.
Like say the first decade?
The first decade, because this is
2024 to
2019 already.
Uh-huh.
He's saying in the first 10 years, no more than 5.
Wow.
No more than 5. He said they're starting very slowly, but we will be amazed by their abilities, quickness to learn. They will be more intuitive. Well, he really doesn't want to
Characterize them yet?
too much.
Uh-huh. Will they look differently from others, or will they look
They
the same?
will. They will look differently. They will look differently. So you're saying within the 10 years, it's only going to be about 5. What about 10 years after that? 500. So in 20 years, about 500.
From 2034 to 2044,
About 500.
about 500.
And then after that, it will go to over 100,000.
After 2044?
Up to over 100,000. Over 100,000.
Over 100,000.
They will be placed in strategic families.
Oh, they'll be strategically placed, huh?
To be able to keep the teaching alive. And Gabriel, will you still be working with these? Oh yes, he says, of course. Says they are my children. My children. Are they actually literally your children? Says, really, they are my children. They are my children. Says, I am placing my own children among you.
Right.
They are his children.
Have you done this before, Gabriel?
Not with, not him specifically with this earth. Not like this. Not like this. This is a plan where they are going to place a large number of children that are going to be a bit biologically different from the rest of us, that are going to be leaders. He says, you hear stories about, just a few, and books and things, he says, but nothing on this scale. This is really big. This is going to be big. He says when they first came to the world, this earth, 90,000 years ago, the 144,000 came from Venus. And also a legion of Melchizedeks, Buddhas, Gautama, of course, and Maitreya. Under me is Sanat Kumar. But that was a different plan. It was a different plan. They did incarnate, but this is different. This is different. This is the worldwide religion of love. This is new just like airplanes are new and computers are new. This is a new plan. And these children of Venus are going to be implementing Venus and my new worldwide religion of love, giving it to all the world. 90,000 years ago, the population was very small. The brains of the people were not open to this type of teaching, learning. You couldn't communicate in the whole world. Today, you can communicate all around the world. We have a whole different situation. These children are going to infiltrate in every location of the world. Over 100,000. And it might be mentioned that these children are the children of the 144,000.
Oh. These children
are the children
of
the 144,000.
Of the 144,000 that came to the earth from
90,000 years ago.
90,000 years ago.
The ones that came 90,000 years ago were working quietly and have made great strides. I mean, you have all the miracles that everyone could have wished for 100 years ago.
The 144,000 worked quietly.
Quietly.
But not not infusing their blood into any of the mortals.
They did. Yes, they have.
Maybe I worded that incorrectly, but
they have.
Maybe that was a good thing.
Yes.
They have infused their blood.
Yes, they have.
Oh.
The 144,000 have. Yes. But these children that are going to be coming in the later 2020 and 30, 40, 50.
Their actual souls.
These are going to be the ones that the world will see some that will be they'll be like your superhumans.
Yeah. Yeah. As you were talking about, as you were describing it, it reminded me of the Adams and the Eves that go to different planets to uplift the race biologically through infusing their violet blood. In the case of the Adam and Eve, we've learned about in the Urantia book. But Gabriel and Venus won't incarnate.
Venus will incarnate. But not for that.
I meant for that purpose. So
no,
Gabriel and Venus will not incarnate in order to produce children on this earth.
No, these children actually...
These will come through a biological father and mother.
But they actually are the descendants of the 144,000 that came 90,000 years ago.
I see. So they will be placed.
But they have not been activated, so to speak, he says, and given extra abilities that they will now be given. They will have superhuman capabilities. These children actually are descended from the 144,000 that came 90,000 years ago. The new children will be given additional abilities. Or we'll say they already have them within them, they will be opened up.
So
The 144,000 have been working all through the ages to help, to bring about better religions, to bring about all the things that we have today. But these children that are coming, very soon, starting to come, they will be given additional abilities that we have never seen before. So they will really be exclusively from Venus all the way down, but with powers that even they, through all these ages, have not been given before. They will open up latent powers that they have within them, that they had from their biological parents, from Venus originally, that have laid dormant.
And they will express them when they come to the earth, when they
Yeah,
incarnate
well,
on earth.
yes,
The
but they will
dormant
come normally through those parents that have been here
Right.
from generation to generation,
Right.
from the 144,000. But these children will
Okay, I
have,
get it. Sure, I get it. Okay.
through all these years that have been working,
So the 144,000 have been incarnating
yes,
a family line
yes,
since they came here.
exactly.
Biologically,
Yes.
earth bodies.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So they will be placed in the family lineage of the 144,000.
The soul,
Yeah,
yes,
will be placed
in that
a
lineage,
body that has come from that lineage.
from his children,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
Right. I'm sorry.
But they
it's
will be
taking
given
longer to
powers that
understand.
are really actually within them biologically, but they will be opened up and they will be able to have those powers to be able to use.
Yes.
And they will be the leaders for the next future generations, although some of them will be working quietly as the parents and the grandparents and the great-grandparents and so forth during this last 90,000 years.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask a question, Gabriel, that kind of goes along with that. So the 144,000 were sent by you, or
They came with him.
they agreed.
They came with him.
What did they do? They volunteered.
They
They
volunteered.
volunteered to come with you to help our planet 90,000 years ago.
Yes.
And the 144,000 have been
Continually producing children, families,
Yeah.
children, families.
yeah.
Until now, we have the opportunity that you are going to use those children, those bodies, open up latent faculties that they have not been able to use in the last.
Yeah. They have.
Some of them have. Some of them have. Some of them have been more in connect with Gabriel.
So the question
But generally.
is so that the 144,000 have come to the earth and have
Produced families all the way down to
Right.
now.
and have infused mortal bodies with their blood, their bloodline, have created bloodlines
In the normal
in
reproductive
the
way.
normal way. About how many would you say, Gabriel, about how many people on the planet or that have been on the planet in 90,000 years have come from those 144,000 lineages?
More than 1 billion.
So more than 1 billion. Okay. More than 1 billion
More than 1 billion.
have been part of that
Yes, that group.
plan or
Yes.
that system.
More than 1 billion. More than 1 billion? No. He's saying don't say more. Say about 1 billion.
Oh, okay. So about 1 billion are from the
billion.
original 144,000 that came 90,000 years ago. Okay.
And they will start opening up some of their latent faculties in the next decades.
Okay, so we've had your children already on the
Oh
earth.
yes. Oh
We've had
yes.
1 billion
they have
of
been
your
here.
children,
But they
Gabriel.
have not had superhuman powers, but they're going to be given some.
Okay.
More, just like we have the miracles of the physical world, we will start seeing the miracles of the biological human being. And more of his potential developed.
So so the real story is not Adam and Eve.
Well, it is, because people reached a certain growth at that time on
Yeah,
the
I
earth.
guess, yeah.
Of art, they say art really
could have
didn't
been-
exist too much before
They could have
32,000
been
years
on
ago.
the level of Adam and Eve in the way they...
Well, maybe some of
the
them
way
were Adam and Eve.
the way they've created, the way they've created progeny, right? But Gabriel, it's you that gave the children. It's Gabriel.
Well,
that
what I
gave
wanted
the
to say,
children.
remember, Adam and Eve may have come from Jerusalem,
From Venus.
from Venus,
Yeah.
too.
Uh-huh.
But yes, you have a story
So originally-
90,000 years ago. You have a story 30,000 years ago. You have these stories. Now you're going to have a story for this planet to open up the latent faculties of these generations of children that will now be born, that will have powers that we cannot imagine. They will be able to read people's minds without a thought. They will know exactly, well, not without a thought, that's a terrible word for me to use. They will be able to read people's minds, to talk across miles or across the world. They won't need a cell phone. They won't need a cell phone. These people will not need a cell phone. These people will be able to see what's going on around the world
So
and
they're
the
gonna be
governments
kind
and
of
so
like
forth.
superheroes then, right?
They will. The faculties that will be opened up, rather than using the physical machines that we have to use, they won't need them.
I see. So you have kind of, Gabriel, you've gone over a couple of scenarios lately. You've talked to us, you've given us some information about a variety of scenarios that you wanted to see, or a variety of ideas or plans that you wanted to see happen and be successful to uplift people and uplift our planet. You've given us the last couple that you have all tried and maybe hasn't worked out because of the people, on the earth. So this would be a new way of doing it that is different from the scenarios that you gave us. And this new way, is this something that you do on planets as part of a normal type of system, or is this because the other plans have failed on the earth? I mean,
No, this is he would say a normal biological upliftment.
So this plan is not the result of a failure of the people of the earth to execute the last couple of upliftment.
Well, it would have been wonderful if they could have evolved a little bit higher by now, that their technology is higher, but they have not. But this will do it. This will do it. We are assured this will succeed. This is a part of the whole plan, the biological upliftment of certain individuals, and they will finally be, some of them, the leaders to put forth these new ideas, and they'll keep everyone on the straight and narrow path in a better way, in a more loving way.
Interesting.
Not in a government way where we have armies and
This is
so
more
forth.
internal,
This is more
spiritual,
a spiritual
emotional,
way to
mental,
help people
personal
to stay on
development.
the narrow and the wonderful path that he wants us to be on.
Okay, so then my question, Gabriel, is, and thank you, by the way, thank you, Immanuel, and thank you, Lord Maitreya, and thank you, Gabriel, for all this wonderful information. It's very hopeful, very, very wonderful. Gives us a lot of hope and comfort that you're involved. So then the question for me, coming to this point, would be: so what do Diane and I have to do with this? What is our role? If you're doing so much behind the scenes with these new progeny of yours,
Yes.
in the upliftment, what role would Diane and I play in this? And we definitely, we've agreed
We'll
so
try
many
to
times.
do whatever it is
We will
possible.
do whatever necessary, So what do you think we could do? Because, I mean, we're obviously past the point of developing progeny that might be from your 144,000. So what can we do?
He's saying the fact that you are listening to me is the most wonderful, wonderful thing you can do. It says, continue with your songs, go to the churches, observe. Help us in 2022 to put out the messages that we have for the worldwide religion of love on our family, closeness, the new principles for the male, the new principles for the female, the developing family unit in a new way, a new protective way, so that our teachings can develop and be given to the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren and so forth. He says, my children are doing their part, but they have not really been allowed to be seen, the abilities that they could have. Now we are going to start opening up some of those latent abilities, and people will see that these things are possible and that they are true.
There'll be examples for others.
And they will be the examples, of course, for the others. Now, not all of these billion people that are here and representative are going to have their latent abilities opened. Remember that.
It's the progeny of these.
It will be the
next
new.
ones in the lineage.
It will be the new young people that are born, that we will start opening that up.
Yeah.
The new ones. Yeah. The others have had temporary glimpses and temporary associations with the spiritual, but now we're going to be opening up the gates, the floodgates, in a more open way, and letting people see that this is possible. That this is possible.
What they do is possible.
Yes, and
who
that
they are and
yes, and so the people will know that it's true, that it is the truth. It is the truth. So we, as long as we live, are to work with Gabriel and Venus, and of course Immanuel, and of course Maitreya, and Gabriel, and Persephone, and all of the celestials that are involved in this. Of course Demeter is too, and of course Rhea and Universal Mother. The Universal Father not as much, no, but Maitreya is praying to him. He's not quite as involved personally, but Maitreya is praying to him for more world peace, as we were told today. And but the main thing is for us to keep putting out these messages so that they will be on the YouTube for people to see when finally the time comes, and it will open up all of this information that we have learned, and people will know that it is the truth, because they will have young people amongst them that are developing these more intuitive abilities, and we will be amazed by them, and they will grow up to be leaders. But they need us to put some precepts of theirs in place, in a certain place, with a book, with these DVDs, with the CDs, for the initial people to have a guideline of what we want and what we're doing and what's going on.
We'll do it.
We will do our best. We'll try.
Well, Gabriel, what should we call these children? Is there a name that you can give us?
They are the children of the 144,000.
The children of the 144,000.
And they are from Venus originally, their original home. And he's saying Adam and Eve were from Venus too.
So that means Adam and Eve would have been your children.
Yes. Yes.
The Adam and Eve that we know.
At various times in the Earth's history, he says the celestials have tried to make an impact upon the people. And now this is our new method, and we want to bring light and life to the world, and Maitreya is going to continue to bring prosperity to everyone. And we Venus and I will bring the worldwide religion of love. And it is a religion based on the family, not on race, not on locality or location or country or custom, but on the family, whatever family there is. It is a family religion. Personal religion for each human being too.
A personal religion.
Personal religion for each person. We are opening up the floodgates now for the new children of the world.
We are
Opening up the floodgates for the new children of the world to be born.
Floodgates.
Children with amazing capabilities that we have never seen on the earth before. So the unborn child is immensely important. The family unit is immensely important. And the future of our world is immensely important.
The unborn child in the family unit?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are focusing on their worldwide religion, on that to a great extent. But it is for everyone, no matter whether they have a religion or a family or
So
not.
this would be the main focus of the new worldwide religion of love?
Yes, because the end result is to produce children that will be able to live and sustain themselves in a world that is totally different from today. And they need the strength of a strong family to be able to grow up and be able to develop all of the abilities that the youth of the future will have. They have no more. They are not gone, but they have no more. Well, thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Maitreya, for being here. Thank you, Immanuel. Thank all the celestials that are part, trying to help our world and the whole solar system. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all. And Diane and I will definitely do our part.
We'll try. And we thank especially Gabriel for taking on this whole new part of the main plan from the Fathers.
Yes.
Thank you so much for becoming the new leader of this part of it, this wonderful worldwide religion of love.
Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you all
Thank
so
you.
much, and
God
that's
bless.
very interesting. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Those green eyes, those green eyes of truth, spirit of truth, emerald eyes, God of the wise, love in the sky, Gabriel, Gabriel,